Well, I went into nursing because I'd wanted to be a nurse since I was preschool, which is, I know sounds ridiculous, but my grandfather was a country doctor and I thought the world of him. And I don't even know where I got the idea that he had a nurse, because he lived in a small community that had no hospital, but there was a lady in the community that was a registered nurse, and when somebody was really sick, she would go to their home and look after them. So I was going to be that nurse. And I never wavered in that. A couple of times I was hospitalized myself and I was very sick at one point with a ruptured appendix, but I still wanted to be a nurse. I had a great aunt, my grandfather's youngest sister was a nurse, and she had graduated from the Winnipeg General. It's probably one of the reasons I wanted to go there. And I can remember her, she was in the Army during the Second World War, and she came to visit us in her uniform, and I was very impressed with that. Not that I ever wanted to be in the Army, but I thought that was very special. I had some cousins that were nurses, and I think being in the hospital as a patient it didn't discourage me at all. As I went through nursing as a career, I sort of did everything. I started out as a bedside nurse. I was a head nurse, a supervisor, a clinical instructor, a coordinator of teachers, and at the very end I was program head of the nursing program at SciAT. But I think, in all honesty, I have to say that what gave me the most satisfaction was my clinical practice, my own, but also the clinical practice working with students. When you'd sort of see a student kind of have the light go on, and when you could see them becoming more competent and be able to do things independently. There's always areas in nursing that people like better than others, and I think that's important. I can remember students coming to see me and saying, I don't know whether I can finish this rotation. And I remember one, and I said, well, where are you now? And she said, I'm in pediatrics. I said, oh, well, that's my favorite. But I said, isn't there anything that you love? She said, I really like working with old people. So I said, well, you just have to stick it out for another 3 or 4 weeks in pediatrics, and when you graduate, there'll be lots of jobs for you looking after old people. So I think that's important for people to know, that there's many different areas and aspects of nursing to work in. I was actually on council of SRNA when Saskatchewan passed the motion that we would support CNA in promoting the entry to practice to be the baccalaureate degree. And although I was working in a 2-year program, I could see what was happening in practice and the knowledge that nurses needed. And I felt that wasn't going to happen overnight, but we needed to start working on it. And we formed committees, and although the program hadn't been introduced when I retired, it was well underway, and I felt very proud to have been part of that. Well, my name is Joanne Felstrom, and I graduated nursing in 1954, so I have been a nurse for 66 years, although I retired in 1994, so I haven't been currently registered since that time.